Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. Today I'm going to show you this junk journal. This is just a flip through. I'm not going to do a tutorial, so you know up front. But I'm going to show you some of the things that I made, and I'm sure you'll get lots of ideas from this. I'm a member of the Trashy and Flowish Junk Journals Facebook group. It is run by Rosemary Morris, and she's really great. She matches up people for swaps. And you can choose either somebody in the US or somebody international. They have lots of people from all over the world involved in it. And they will match you up, and then they will make whatever the challenge is, and you will make one, and then you'll swap, send them to each other. It's really cool because you pick up a lot of things that you don't have in your stash, and it's also a way to clear out some things that maybe you haven't used and give it to somebody else and share the joy. It's a closed group, so you will have to ask to be a member, but if you're interested in that, then it's a lot of fun and I highly recommend it. So here is the journal that I made. This is a Flowish and Trashy junk journal. If you've ever picked up a copy of Flow magazine, Flow, then you'll know what we're talking about. If you don't, it's a magazine that has a bunch of elements in it. Pretty papers, pretty pictures, sayings, artwork, all kinds of cool things that you can take apart and use in your projects. But it's so beautiful that most people don't want to tear it up and use it. So the idea is that we make one of these and we share it with somebody else, and then we also get back a lot of really cool stuff that we don't have. For this particular swap, we were supposed to put in 5 buttons. So I put my 5 buttons here. These are cool gold ones. 1 monkey. I have a couple of monkeys in here, so as I'm flipping through, watch for the monkeys. A key, and I put a little key charm on one of these pieces of ribbon, and this is rickrack actually, that I use to make the signatures. A postcard, a pair of shoes, a piece of jewelry. Here's my jewelry. I made this out of polymer clay, and I put some dangles on it and a little jewel in the center, a little rhinestone, and then these are, believe it or not, made out of paper. So these are paper beads. I will have a tutorial on that sometime coming up. But here's a necklace that I made. So she can take it off and wear it. She can take it off and use elements for something else, or she can just leave it as a charm on this one, or put it on another journal or whatever. Another thing that we were supposed to put in is a decorated paper clip, a fish, a map, a napkin, and a piece of fabric. We were supposed to have at least 30 pages in the journal, and it was supposed to be at least 7 inches by 8 inches. So what I did was I went to Harbor Freight and I bought a new heat gun. And I highly recommend it because I paid $8 for it, and it's a heavy duty one. It has 2 speeds. It's fabulous. I had a coupon for it, and that's much less than you would pay for those ones that aren't as powerful in the craft store. So that's the box that I used for this to cover the journal. And what I put on it was this napkin. I found these really cool napkins. They have a scene of elephants, and there's a mama elephant, and I believe a daddy elephant, and a baby. See, they're so cute. And then it has a tree on it. I just thought it was really beautiful, and I wanted then to have something that looked really bohemian and old, and so I put a lot of different colors on this. I painted first the box a deep blue, and then I used purple and some of those shiny mists on it, and then put some distress ink around the edges, and it looks really cool. It turned out fabulous. Now what it's tied with is a piece of velvet that was, it's actually a belt that was on a skirt that I picked up at a thrift shop. I always pick up pieces of velvet when I see them because I tear them apart and I like to use them because I like this really rich and medieval type looking stuff. So that's what this tie is. And how I did that was I took the box apart, and all I did was I made a little slit in one of these flaps and threaded it through there, and that's how I made the closure. You can make closures in a lot of different ways, and I'll have lots of other examples of that. But that's all I did with this. It's very, very simple. And then you just wrap it around and tie it. On the inside, you can see that this is it's just a cardboard box. And it does have the corrugated raised areas. And I just took my brayer and I brayered over it with some different colors so that it would be really rustic and, nasty looking. I wanted to have it rustic. And then I used some alcohol inks to drip down and give it some color. So that's all this is. It has a good texture to it. It's really kind of cool. So on the inside, I made a pocket, and this pocket is from a prescription envelope that I picked up my prescriptions in. Let me move this over. Whoops, sorry about that. So that you can see this pocket. And what I did was I just taped it on the back with masking tape so that she can take it off and she can glue it or otherwise fasten it into whatever she wants. Here's the back of that necklace I was showing you. And then I put a piece of trim on it. I took a brayer and brayered a couple colors on it, and then stamped it with a stamp that I have that is like a music score. So that's just a little envelope that she can use however she wants. Here's one of my decorated clips. It's just ribbon that has been put onto a clip. It's kind of shiny purpley ribbon. It's kind of pretty. Here's my postcard. I live in Florida, and I went to the Dali Museum and got this really weird, funky postcard with Salvador Dali holding a starfish up to his eye, which is kind of cool. So she can use that for whatever she wants. And I also picked up some other things at the Dali Museum. Here's some little notebook journaling paper, and these are little customer order sheets. And here are some brochures I picked up at the Museum of Fine Arts. That's a really pretty picture there. And then this was a fashion exhibit that they had at the Dali that I thought this was a really cool picture with this woman wearing butterflies. So that's tucked in there. I put a couple of other things in here. Let me see what else is in here. This is just one of those measuring tapes that you get at IKEA. It has inches on one side, and then it has metrics on the other. And, you've seen those that are, at the craft store, and they're really expensive. So I figured she can cut off the IKEA and just use this as a border on a page. You can paint it, distress it, whatever you want, and this is kind of cool. These are cupcake liners, cupcake pan liners, and you just fold them and they make a cool little fan shape. And I'll show you some things that I made with these inside of the Flow Trashy Journal. But she can use these. These are cute to put on things as embellishments. So put all this stuff back into the pocket. Put that back on there. Slide this back in here. Okay, here is the first signature. This is a piece of marbled paper, and inside, here's one of these paper clips that I made, and isn't this adorable? You can find a good video online that shows you how to do this. It's just a cupcake liner, and then you put the clip on the back, and then you cut out a little top for it, and I put a little pearl on there, so it's real cute. Little plastic pearl. It's adorable. Here are some things I put into an envelope I made. These are just little cutouts that she can do whatever she wants with. I put a few little hearts in here, as you can see. What I did with one of these little, well, actually two of them back to back, is I put them on a paper clip, and that's cute. So that's another little decorated paper clip that she has. And this little envelope was made out of the inside of some junk mail, and then I put some tape on it and a cute little, one of those Russian stacking doll pictures on here. So I thought that was cute. So I'll put that back in there and here. And what this is full of is just cool stuff. Like here is a paint chip that has some windows in it. I thought that was kind of nice. Here are some really cute napkins that she can use like I did on the front. Some with birds. Here's a cool thing I picked up that has some beautiful photographs in it. Just love this. I thought it was really pretty. And so she can cut that up and use it as she sees fit. Here is a brochure for Winter the dolphin at the Clearwater Aquarium. That's kind of nice and cute and has some pictures in there. Here are instructions for various things that I got. Here's a coloring page, birds, gardens. I like flowers, florals, things like that. Here's thing. I got these coasters at IKEA that were called Corkin. And here it explains in all these different languages, you know, what you do with it. And then map of the area. And here's a beach guide that you can cut up and use that has some maps in it too. So there's my map requirement. I think everything is about the same. It's just the other side of the things that I used in here. And here's another one of these that I made. This is just a cupcake holder. And I put a top on it with some jewels for a little belt around the center. In this envelope, here's another one that I made out of a junk piece of mail. And I put some pretty flowers. I took some watercolor paper and painted it, and then used my Big Shot to die cut some flowers, and they're really pretty, so I'm sure she can use these on her projects. Here's some orange ones and some other shapes and things. So that's a little goodie that she will find inside. Here's another signature, and this washi tape is already coming apart, but it doesn't really matter because this box will hold everything together. But let me put that back on there. Here is a doily, a piece of like foam fabric. Here's a trolley map. Here's some tissue paper, some book pages. Here's a chapter about sewing, some various home things. Here's a cute napkin that has some kittens on it, some flowered napkins. Here's a piece of, here's a junk mail envelope that came from China. Some scrap papers. This is a thick paper towel. I use these when I do watercolors, and then I clean my brush off with them, and they're really pretty, and you can use them for decoupage and things like that. Here's another coloring page with some journaling space on the back, and a couple more sheets of paper that she can use. And here are some more napkins. And what do we have in here? Here's another envelope that I put some things into. Oh yeah, here are some bird houses, and I put some of these shiny things in here. You can either use them big, or you can cut them down. And so I thought she might like some blingy stuff. So put that back in here. And here's another decorated paper clip, and this one just has some ribbon on it, some pretty shiny ribbon. Can you see that? Sorry about that, I was off camera. I apologize for that. Here is a decorated one that has some ribbon that'll come out of the top. Okay, let's look at this one. Here's another signature. Here's a little envelope I made out of a travel brochure that has some islands. It was very pretty. And in here, I put some more sparkly things. These things look like disco balls. They're kind of cute, and there's stickers on the back. So lots more things that she can use in her projects. Here are some pretty hearts. Okay, put that back here. And this is being held by yet another decorated paper clip that I made that has some sparkly blue and gold ribbon on it, which is pretty nice. Here's a doily. We have more pieces of paper scraps, various things. Here's some pretty napkins, some more stuff. Here's actually some cards from Fiat, and this is my car. No, I mean, actually, it is my car. It's in the driveway. I got this little Fiat, and it has the convertible, and it's in this color, and it's just the most fun thing. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And here are some other little Fiat cards, and here's this skinny, hot Italian lady who is, you know, racing these guys on. But anyway, here's my cute car. So I put that in there. She can gesso the back of these and use them for journaling, or just use the pictures for whatever. It's a piece of junk mail. I opened the envelope, and it has kind of cute stripes in it. Various stuff. Here's another envelope. This one has like a checked background. There's some papers about conservation houses, hurricane house. Here's a map of the area, and a book page that has a nice tree on it. Then, well, on this side, let's look in here. I did put a couple of extra things. Here's a piece of watercolor paper, and I was doing some playing around with inks, alcohol inks, and just sprinkled them on and took a straw and blew it, and it looks pretty cool. And then I put some little cute ribbon on it, and it's a little notepad that you can put in your journal. Here are some various things. Brown napkin, and here's this cool lizard thing on Valspar paints. I like him. There's a sticky butterfly sticker, and basically just the backs of all these other papers, the coloring page and stuff like that. So all kinds of goodies in here. Then here's this weird funky bag that I got. A friend gave me a gift, and it was really cute in this bag. So I used this bag. I didn't put it in as a signature, but you could. You could put it like this, you know, and put the elastic. Oh, I want to show you also the elastic. So I've used elastic and just stapled it in here, so she can take these apart and use these elastics in her own projects. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then also I put some lengths of ribbon, and she can take these out and use them also in her journals with whatever she's doing. In here I put some cute stuff. Here's a little journal I put together that has kind of a homey burlap feel to it. It's this little signature that's tied with some twine, and it has a little burlap flower on the front, and then it also has a little blingy matching jewel clip on it. And in this one I put, oh, these are little foam things, and remember she was supposed to get a pair of shoes, so there's her pair of shoes, and here's a purse and crown and mirror, and I guess this is a scepter. I don't know what it is, but anyway, that is my little pair of shoes that she gets, and it has a sticky back so she can put them on whatever. And I'll put this back on here. This is just a little envelope I made out of some scrap paper, and just put a piece of washi tape on it. It's really cute. Inside, I just took some pieces of paper, and on the blank ones, I stamped. There's a flower. The other one was a dress. Here's a bird. Here's a mason jar. Butterfly. This has a tree on it. Here are some butterflies that I was using paint to stamp, and they turned out pretty cool. Here are some Big Shot cutouts. This is a house scene. It's really fragile. It's really pretty, so I put it in this glassine envelope, which you can also use in her projects. This is a really pretty one. It folds up. This is a cutout for my die cut machine. And then inside I put some little pieces of paper that have flowers on them. Here are my monkeys on this Costa Rica travel brochure page. Here's the rest of this book. I stamped mandala on there. Here's another piece of paper with some little mice on it, some hearts, and butterflies and birds. And here's just a pretty little Victorian design. This says, of course, live well, laugh often, and love much. That's a very nice sentiment. And then here again is the beautiful flowing dress. So this is a little journal that she can either take apart and use the pages separately, or she can just keep it like this and use it as a little journal. It's up to her. And I put some little, these are made out of polymer clay that I made. They're just little washer type beads I put on there. So that's cute. This is my scrap paper. I get a big piece of scrap paper and I put it underneath, and it's actually a lot bigger, but I cut it down. And I paint on it, I doodle on it. This just basically catches everything on my desk as I'm working. I take stamps and stamp them off, you know, to clean off the ink before I put them back away and things like that. So hopefully she can find some use for that. I always use these myself because I think that they turn out pretty cool. And then this, I got some sprays, some alcohol sprays, and I was testing them on a piece of watercolor paper. And I put down some tags. I just had some tags laying on my desk and I used them as masks. And so that turned out kind of cool. And so I took a chandelier stamp and stamped them in there. So hopefully she can use this. And on the back I was doodling and drawing some eyes and practicing some eyes because I'm learning how to draw eyes and faces right now. So all this cool stuff was in this funky little bag that was in there. And this is kind of cool because the little handles will stick up out of it, so it's just more interesting. And then when you fold it all up, it's back to the box, and you can close it up and use it as you see fit. So that's my take on a junk journal for this challenge, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you make a junk journal, if I have inspired you, please put a link. I would love to see it. Thanks so much, everyone, and more later.